So guys, in today's video we wanted to try something a bit different. We actually had another idea for this video. We wanted to see which classes synergize the best with the new Skitarii. The more I play him, the more I realize that this class feels a lot like a support class, which is fine. We don't need every class to be in the front line killing everything. We already have other classes for that. But again, we play as a duo. As a duo with really trashy, disgusting AI that can do nothing good, not even get enough aggro for you to like shoot other stuff or kill other stuff before they die. So as a duo, we always try to find ways to play with classes and go well together. With this guy, we had tried Psyker, because we thought if somebody can control the wave, he can probably just focus on specialists or an elites, and overall he will be doing fine, especially if you have a bubble to take cover from. I don't feel like the Psyker was as good as I was hoping as a pair with him. What do you think, Mister?
I think the Psyker was probably one of the better ones. The problem is, with the way that I had her built, the biggest problem was probably the monstrosities. Psyker's not like amazing at that, so that was a problem, and some of the really big stuff, because so you were bringing the Cord Claw for that, and that Cord Claw is just, it's okay, but when you get to the higher up level of difficulty, it's not like it's not always an insta kill on like a Crusher or whatever, so we still rely heavily on the Psyker, but I thought she was probably one of the better ones, but it still didn't feel great.
Yeah, the biggest problem with the highest difficulty, like Shock Troop, High Shock Troop, Gauntlet in Auric, is that they overwhelm you with enemies. Enemies that are really tanky and they do a lot of damage. So the biggest problem with the Claw is feels really strong by itself, especially if you're trying the Psychanium. But then when you are in the actual field and you have to use it with 25 Maulers, 5 Crushers, and the rest of the wave, it doesn't work as good as we hoped, because there is no cleave, or at least it doesn't seem to be. So you only hit whatever's in front of you, and the Crusher is still behind the Mauler that's trying to hit you, overhead you, and you're dead, because this class can't really take that much damage. So the concept's good, I just don't feel as a duo works good enough to compensate for how many charges. I think you have 3 by default, you can get 2 extra with the Keystone. We also tried this new class with the Hive Scam, which is weird because then both we are Glass Canyons, and I don't think the way you are playing the Hive Scam, I don't think the Hive Scam to begin with is amazing to deal with, the Horde, but the way you are using, Mister is using him, you mostly want to take care of the big stuff and the range. So we struggle with the wave if you use that and I bring the Skitarii.
I would have had to completely rebuild him, which I'm not doing. I just don't feel like it. I just straight up don't feel like it. And so, yeah, I could take out a lot of the big stuff. I use a lot more ammo, so we have share ammo. Sometimes you're using ammo builds too. You switched your build around. It wasn't like you use the same one over and over again. It just, you would have needed to rebuild. Probably would have needed to be rebuild into some more melee. They took a rocket away from him. I mean, so it's just, that didn't work great either.
And we also tried this new class with, what was the name? With the Arbitrator. And yeah, you can stay alive forever by yourself, but that's not the point. The point is to find 2 classes and work good together. So Mister was bringing the Arbitrator. We know he can stay alive pretty much by himself, even in High Shock as a solo, but then I'm always dead. So what is the point of even bringing this class if I'm always dead?
Yeah, I kind of basically feel the same way. I think another problem with the Arbiter, I think he works, I wouldn't say he worked the best. I still think Psycho probably works the best. It's just any little mess up, any time you make a mistake with the Psyker on something like that with only one other person on the team and she's dead, just dead, because she can only take nothing. She can't take any overhead attacks. So with the Arbiter, it just was, it's annoying. Yeah, we can get through it and everything, but it's still it was still a struggle for you using the Skitarii, and the wave is just annoying because it just is. I don't have him built out to do that. I don't think he's great at fighting the wave anyways. Yeah, he can stay alive, but the wave was just annoying. It was so slow, and it just, I mean, it worked, but I didn't think it worked great.
And you guys will say, oh, but you didn't try the Ogre, you didn't try the Zealot, you didn't try the Vet. We didn't. We didn't think those three classes will work for specific reasons. The Ogre used to be really strong, really fun to use until the last nerf. With the amount of range we have in high difficulty, it's almost impossible for the Ogre to stay alive. He's the biggest, there's not enough cover, the enemies just focus on him so much, he's instant death, so that wasn't viable. The vet is kind of like this guy. He has a problem with the movement than the Skitarii
You know,
has.
I'm just gonna be honest. I don't really care for the vet. He's never had good movement. He's never had good pushes, and all these people that act like he's so good use these las guns sitting behind their three teammates. We can't do that.
No.
You just can't. I just don't care for the vet. I don't give a shit how much that offends you. I just don't give a shit for that. I don't.
Okay, before people complain, I used to be a vet main. I would say that at least 1,000 hours of this game, I have it with a vet. So at some point he was useful. Now we don't think he is that good anymore. Especially after
No, I'm not even saying he's not that good. I built mine out to work for me.
Yeah, as a duo doesn't work.
A lot of people use voice of command. I built him out to work. I just don't give a shit about using him. He can puke out tons of damage. He can destroy monstrosities and a lot of armor. He's good. I just don't care. I hate how awkward his movement is. I don't like it. I just don't like it. In every video game, I like to be on a character that has movement. That's what I like. I like being able to do that. And he just doesn't have that. A lot of these builds are just stand there and shoot. And I don't find that fun. That's just what I don't like. If you like it, fine. I don't give a shit. I don't.
And again, playing as a duo, we need characters that can both be in the front, helping. I cannot be behind Mister shooting my last gun when he's taking all the aggro in the front. That doesn't work as a duo. They don't even start me with the bots. The bots environmental were okay. In this game, I wish you can disable them because they're trash. So we don't use the vet for that main reason anymore. And the Zealot used to be so good, but they kept taking away from him talents that were perfectly good for him and give it to, they basically took away his talents and they gave those talents to somebody else, a different class. He doesn't have loner anymore, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I like the Zealot. The Zealot, we were going to do a ranking one day, and I always was going to put the Zealot top for me. Zealot was my favorite class in the game. I honestly don't even know who my favorite class is anymore, but the Zealot was my favorite class. I still like the Zealot. I don't buy skins. I hate that concept. But I bought a skin for the Zealot because I liked the Zealot that much. So I still like the Zealot, and I still think the Zealot's really, really good. But they keep adjusting that tree like they do everybody. They've taken multiple skills from him. They've nerfed some skills on him like they have everybody. It's not like the Zealot gets special bad treatment here or anything. But they've adjusted it enough that I don't like the Zealot as much. But still really good. Still very good, and I still really enjoy the Zealot. But yeah, probably Zealot would have been okay. I'm assuming it would probably been very similar to like the Arbiter or something. But we didn't try it just because I'm assuming it would have been very similar.
Yeah, the Zealot, the main reason we didn't try him is because, not as much because he got nerfed, like Mr. say, everybody have taken that treatment, it's because it's the same concept as Betrayer. What good does it does to me for you to stay alive forever if I'm always dead with the Skitarii? The point of this video was to find a good combo.
The point was to find synergy.
Synergy, yeah, like a combo.
Yeah.
A good combination between two characters. Like I used to always bring the Odin and you bring the Psyker. That was a really good combo because you protect me from the range, and
well,
I just.
The problem is the Psyker actually synergizes with a lot of people.
Yeah, I know, but that was
with her bubble
yeah.
and with her stab,
yes.
She synergizes with almost anybody.
Yes.
And that's why I thought she would work better. But I mean, the Psyker can carry some huge amounts of stuff, but there is a point where with two people it just becomes too much. It just becomes too much, and we die.
There's a reason why we don't have solo play in this game. Everything that is done to this game is meant to be for a 4-player co-op, but the company allows you to play as a 2, as a trio, or as a full team. Not solos, but 2, 3, or 4. So if we just have one more player or one more bot that wasn't trash to help us, we will never struggle in high difficulty because you said it before this video. Damnation Can be challenging for some people, but for us, it's kind of boring. It's predictable. High shock is the only thing, aside from Havoc, that we can do where we're not totally sure if we are going to fail it. With the Skitarii, it feels like if I bring the Skitarii or you bring the Skitarii, maybe with you will be different, but with me, most of the time I think we're going to fail. If I bring the Arbitrator and you bring whatever you want, I think we can pass it. The biggest problem I have with the Skitarii is that he can't take a lot of damage. His skills are not that amazing. I mean, there's some strong skills he has, like the claw or the voltage emitter, but a lot of times it feels that they are not working the right way or they are not as good as they sound on paper, like the voltage emitter. Why in 30 meters? I know what 30 meters is. I grew up in meters. I know what 30 meters is in a game too. So why it feels like sometimes I use it and it doesn't reach as far as it says it's going to reach, and if the enemy is not exactly in front of you or if in a different elevation, even if they say they fix it, it doesn't work. But it grabs the guy behind that enemy, but the one in front, it doesn't get affected. It's like it only grabs some enemies. It doesn't read like that. It should grab any enemy in 30 meters, no matter what.
I'm 100% sure that if we take a Skitarii built, however, there's multiple things you could do. Bring him with a Psyker, bring him with an Arbiter. We'll get through the mission. We can get through high intensity Auric, Maelstrom, stuff like that. I don't think Havoc would work as good for us because Havoc 25 to 30 is a little bit harder. That's usually where we sit, 25 to 30 as a duo. So it's just a little bit too hard for us. But he's kind of he just feels like he's in a weird place because it feels like he's definitely for support. So if you had two players, if we had an Arbiter or a Zealot or even a Bet and then a Psyker, you control the big stuff, the elites, and you control the wave. He can support. He could bring stuff to support. He can puke out a lot of damage. I'm not saying he can't puke out a lot of damage. He actually can do a lot of damage. He can do support well, but he feels like support. Also, like you said, the one thing I do believe, I think he has one of the best grenades in the game. I think being able to disable range, it can take out huge areas of elites and specialists. I think the grenade is good. I think most of his abilities are good. I think the voltage emitter would be really, really good, but they recently, at the time of doing this, there was literally a patch today to fix it because elevation was affecting it. It wouldn't grab everybody, but even after that patch, that thing is not grabbing everything it should be grabbing. It'll get, if there's 20 range around us, it'll pick up like 12 to 15 of them, but it won't get all of them. And they're all within the 30 meter range. Unless they change that, it doesn't say. It just says ranged enemies. When you use it with 2 charges or above, ranged enemies within 30 meters have their weapons malfunction for 12 seconds. It's not a minimum. That pisses me off. It just pisses me off that doesn't work right. There's some other stuff with him that I think is a little inconsistent. The Cord Claw, there's a couple modifiers for that makes it feel significantly worse. He needs some work, I think. He definitely needs some work. I'm not saying I don't love this class. I like the idea they did. It just doesn't feel like they executed it well. And right now he needs to be, or he feels like he's best played as support. And I'm not saying bring your Serbo Skull so you can scan stuff, which is a really strong skill, and pick people up. I'm saying you could even build him with the voltage emitter or with advanced combat doctrine and be a ranged machine or the melee tree in the bottom. There's a lot of stuff that you can do where he does a lot of damage, but it still feels like it's supported. And when we play as a duo, you can't do that. You just can't. Both of us need to be able to do a lot of damage and have some survivability to keep going. If you build the Skitarii out for just support, we fail. We just fail.
Yeah.
So I don't care if you say it's meant for 4 people. Everybody else has been fine up to this point. And he is okay. He works okay. But he just feels in a spot that I don't really know what I would say he's the best at right now.
A few things I will do right away that they can actually patch tomorrow if they had it ready to go is for the Servo Skull, if you get that grade of the grenade where he spins around the fire, slow the enemies down when they are in the fire. Don't fully stagger them if you don't want to, if you think they're too strong, but slow them down. They shouldn't have full speed when they are literally burning alive. I will do that if you're bringing the servo skull.
No, wait. Or the other thing I think they could do is keep it the same, but put it on cooldown. I hate that you have to pick up grenades for that.
Yeah, why? He literally
It's like ammo with the swords from the first Ascendant.
Yes.
Why? Just give it a cooldown and keep it the same.
So that would be our 2 fixes, I guess, for the servo skull. For the claw, there's something not right with the horizontal. If you choose that modifier, horizontal like slash, it doesn't even feel like it's working.
It doesn't say anything about reducing damage on it. It doesn't.
And when we use it, it feels like it's not as strong for some reason. With the bulk tech emitter, our only complaint is that please keep it consistent, whether it's an elevation or not. If there is people within my range, and I know I have to use 2 charges before you type in the comments. I know sometimes I don't do it in the videos. I know to disable guns is 2 charges. Make it more consistent to craft every single range within the 30 meters. It's called the Voltec Grenade, no, it's called the Arc Grenade. The Arc Grenade, that one, I will not touch. I think it's really strong, like Mr. said, one of the strongest grenade in the game probably. Do you have anything to add to the grenade? Or to the Voltec emitter?
No, I think just the consistency of...
So you agree
that's a
with me?
lot. That has to be within 8 meters. Yeah, I agree with you. But that one's a little closer. But just the consistency on getting that to activate.
I haven't had the chance to try the bubble. That's the other grenade he has, where you don't take
It's not great.
range
It's not
damage.
great.
But it's another thing that they could do to improve that one is make it rechargeable too.
A recharge. I shouldn't
cooldown.
pick up grenades for that.
Like it's coming from your body. You're half robot. I don't know
want to
why.
hear bullshit because the big friendly rock from the Augment is a recharge. This should be a recharging ability, a blitz.
But remember, it wasn't at the beginning. They made the same mistake with the Odin. You had to pick up
you
grenades
got that
to get
shit
rocks.
out now. Use your fucking brains
Yeah.
and make it recharge. That's so stupid that you're taking utility away from the team on something that doesn't need it. Both the Servo Skull and the shield should be recharged.
And for the advanced combat doctrine, I actually don't have anything bad to say about that one. I think I have used it with the arc rifle. Feels really good with it. I don't really have anything negative to say about that one.
No, I agree. I think Advanced Combat Doctrine's mostly okay.
Those are the minimum changes I will do right now to improve overall the class. It will be nice if eventually they can improve his survivability a tiny bit more, or at least his dodges, so even if you can take damage, you can try to avoid it.
Well, again, something that's weird with his tree is since it's built this way, you know how you have those operative modifier lines where it just gives you more crit or more toughness? It's not even really a talent. It's just a dump point. He doesn't have any of that.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't have any of those useless points that connect things. So you're missing out on some toughness here. You're missing out on some toughness there. That's weird. I wish they could build. I don't even think you need to build it. He has a lot of skills for that. I'm not saying he doesn't have enough skills, but I think you need to adjust some of these skills. Like the first 4, if you go in any direction, is with toughness. Replenish plus 3% toughness per second. Increased by half a percent per current charge. I think that needs a little buff, just a little bit. Since he doesn't have any of those other ones that you have to waste points on, I think some of those could be a little bit better.
My biggest disappointment with this class is that if you go to the Psychanium and you have no mods and you can just freely hit the enemies in Auric difficulty, it feels so strong. But then you go to the field, especially as a duo, and he doesn't even feel like he works as good anymore. Not that much because it's underwhelming because it's weak. It's because his kit doesn't feel consistent enough. A lot of times it feels like he's taking damage from regular enemies slowly by bleeding, like the Ragers bleeds you. So the same concept but with regular groaners and infected enemies. And we already have a class that can really take damage, like the Hive Scam, but at least they gave them the ability to avoid damage. So I don't know where this class is sitting right now. I thought at the beginning when I tried it, he had a spot with everybody else for the max difficulty. Now, unless you have a full team or at least 3 people that know what they're doing, it feels really situational.
Yeah, my final thought is just, aside from the stuff that I think they need to make a pass on, and generally they will, but a lot of times with Fat Shark, there's zero brain activity involved in their decisions, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do something totally stupid. But I think he just, I already said it, but I think he just kind of feels supportive. Not just because you bring the skull, whether you build for Voltec Emitter or Advanced Combat Doctrine, it doesn't matter. Whether you want to be offensively or not, he can steal the show a little bit, especially if you're bringing Advanced Combat Doctrine with the arc rifle. But it still feels like he's not the main character here. If you're on a team, it doesn't feel like he's the main guy. It just doesn't. So there's a couple things we talked about. I just think right now is just he would be, if we had a third player, bring Skitarii.
Oh, then he will be fine, yeah. I will be the one bringing Skitarii because I actually most of the time play support classes. But as a duo in Darktide, we cannot do that. So we would like to know more, just figure it out where this guy sits. And if it's going to only be support, fine. Then just fix a few things for him so he feels better. So that was our thoughts about Skitarii now that we have more time with him. Let us know down in the comments how you guys feel about this class. And thank you so much for watching.